exactly 1 year, 6 months, and 3 days before our wedding.
I don't know how she keeps track of dates, stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, it happened this somewhat time ago.
Well, and also we should preface that the number 8 is our lucky number. It follows us everywhere. And so we decided to set our wedding date as August 18th, 2018. So 8/18/18. Also, he cannot forget that date.
And if I do, I'll be in some serious trouble.
But, so we were on a very small budget. We didn't have the luxury of wedding planners or even really much of a venue. We had $2,000 to make a wedding happen. So we decided the venue was at your parents' backyard. And actually it's a very spacious backyard.
Yeah, and it was just perfect because we didn't have very many people there.
And a lot of the stuff we did ourselves, put together the favor ourselves. He built the archway. I designed our cake. We had cupcakes instead of a big cake.
Yeah, we went to this cupcake bakery. That's all they make is cupcakes. And we did a cupcake tasting, and we decided on 3 or 4 different flavors.
3 different flavors.
One was like a dulce de leche.
No, that was the cake. So the 3 flavors we had a chocolate, a raspberry, and a vanilla.
That's right. And we also got like an order of 6 of gluten-free.
Yeah, for our friend Jordana, who graciously threw us the engagement party. And a lot of people who, like, our families really chipped in, and like his parents made the food for our wedding. They made ribs. And somehow, to this day, I still don't know how this happened, but somehow our wedding evolved into a Hawaiian theme. It just kind of magically built into this.
It just morphed into it.
And we ended up putting up on our invitations, suits not required, Hawaiian shirts encouraged. Because we did not want men in the middle of August sweating in the middle of a backyard with no air conditioning in a suit. And
yeah.
Then, I got a dress that was short in the front, long in the back, and your parents got leis for everyone, and
the seashell leis.
The seashell leis. We got flowers, Hawaiian flowers put all over the place, and it was really exciting building up to this. So, flash forward to the night before the wedding, we had your aunt and uncle helping out, my aunt helping out, everyone putting together lights and the archway and the cloth on the archway, and
which it rained the day before the wedding, and we had to go and fix the fabric on the archway because the wind blew as well.
Yep, and so the night before the wedding, I fell asleep pretty easily because I take my psych meds, and I fall asleep, I'm out. And
I didn't get to sleep until after 3 in the morning.
And so I fell asleep, but I woke up at 5 in the morning because I wasn't nervous, but I was just energized. I was pumped. And we agreed that we could still talk to each other on the day of the wedding before we saw each other, because we're the sappiest sappy people you'll ever meet, and we just, we couldn't go a day without talking all day long.
Yeah.
And so I got up, I went to the farmer's market with my mom and my aunt, and actually spent a lot of the day killing time. I watched a lot of Bob's Burgers with my mom, and then my mom started doing my makeup, and then I texted Scott to make sure that he was nowhere to be found at his mom's house, because he was getting ready in the basement and I was getting ready in an upstairs office room, and we had to make sure that we weren't going to run into each other. And so I had my room, and my family was up there with me, making sure that my hair looked good. I had shorter hair than this short for the wedding, and so I didn't have a hairstylist. I did my own makeup, and my dress actually only cost $120. I mean, everything was on the super cheap, but the important thing to us was that we were marrying each other.
Yeah, we had a pretty low budget wedding.
But that didn't matter to us.
No.
That didn't matter at all.
We didn't see the need to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on a dress and a venue and a whole bunch of food.
And here might be a good time to disclaim this. We are not legally married. We are considered domestic partners because I would lose my benefits if we signed a legal statement saying that we were married. And that's just how it is, not only for me, but for many disabled people. That's just the way of it. And so
I guess what you could say what we had was a commitment ceremony?
Yes, and that's okay. And, because we consider each other on an emotional level to be married, and that's what matters to us. Anyway, my dad was officiating at the ceremony. He is a registered minister. He's actually done, he has done several weddings in the past. And so he walked me down the aisle and he performed our ceremony. When I did my first look with my dad, he just broke down and he just started tearing up, and it was a very special moment. And then you walked down the aisle with your mom escorting you to a Frank Sinatra song.
Yeah.
And I think it was Fly Me to the Moon.
I can't remember which one.
And then I walked down the aisle to John Legend.
All of Me?
All of Me. I walked down to All of Me. And the second you saw me, and we have this photo of you just losing it.
Just tearing up immediately.
And, I walked up to you and you were just tears streaming down your face. And I know that this is somewhat unorthodox, but I just immediately embraced you. I just went in for the hug.
Just leapt into my arms.
And that was a special moment that I don't regret. I am so glad that we had that hug. And then we went through, we read each other, our own personalized vows, and I would say it was a spiritual Christian ceremony, but it wasn't religious. And so we went through all of that. I had hand-embroidered handkerchiefs for everyone, and right before he pulls out his vows, he pulls out the handkerchief and says, "I'm gonna need this." And you read me the vows, and everyone who was watching us just starts tearing up because he was so emotional. And you're tearing up right now.
A little bit.
You're tearing up right now.
Just remembering it was just so beautiful.
And then, we went down the aisle, and after that, the photographer took a few pictures of us. And we, people were starting to get hungry, so we had to wrap it up quickly.
We had to speed things along.
And I changed into a more breathable dress, because even though my wedding dress was still short in the front and long in the back, it was still pretty heavy material, so I changed into a more breathable white dress, and you changed into a Hawaiian shirt instead of wearing your long sleeve button up and a vest.
Yeah, because I was in a black shirt with a purple vest and tie.
Yeah, our colors were black, white, and purple. And so we changed into our more comfortable clothes, and actually right before the ceremony, my sister, so we had in our bridal party, my sister is my maid of honor, and my only bridesmaid was my friend Jesse, but he was kind of like the man of honor, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and both people in my lineup were women.
And one of his friends comes up to me and says, "Is this a big deal if I go down the aisle barefoot?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, I don't mind at all." And then my sister goes down barefoot, and then by the time the party time came around, I was barefoot too, and so we have a lot of photos of us dancing with me barefoot.
And I think a lot of the women there just kicked off their shoes.
Yeah, it was a very casual setting, and we didn't mind that one bit, and it just suited us. It was, it was like one big like a party of 50 people, one big family. And
yeah, that's basically what it is.
And so, you know, we kept it small, 50 people, and one of my special moments is our friend Max, who is deaf, saying to me, "You are so beautiful," and I actually understood what that was, and I was able to say thank you in return. And
yeah, Max was such a delight.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
Everybody too.
And, you know, he's the one that coined the term "respect the weird." And anyway, we had a great night. Our first dance was to one of the most sappy songs you can imagine, which is
1,000 Years
by Christina Perri, and you know, featured in Twilight, which we are so sappy that of course we love Twilight.
Of course.
And so that was our first dance, and we had practiced for months to get this semi-waltz. You know, it wasn't a complete waltz down, but it was still professional looking enough that we had obviously practiced.
And my mom was even impressed with that.
And then I had my father-daughter dance to the song by the Beatles. What was the name of it?
Teach Your Children?
No, that's the CNY.
Oh.
Anyway, I'll probably put in the comments right here what the song was. Oh, In My Life by the Beatles. And then your mother's son dance was to an original by Lizzie Langston, which I will post right here. And
I can't remember the name of it.
It was Promise Me.
That's it.
Promise Me by Lizzie Langston, which is a family member of yours. Beautiful song. Beautiful. And so a lot of people dance it, but people only dance to like 2 or 3 songs. But still, it was a really special time, and I got to dance with my friend Jessie, and so it came time for the bouquet toss, and we just said, everybody get in there. Everybody.
It didn't matter who.
And so we hear his mom and my mom in the back going, "Raise Art over here, over here, over here." And, you know, like they're battling it out. And his friend Kimmy caught the bouquet, which is great because she did so much work on the wedding day.
Yeah, she was such a big help.
She was amazing. And you know, we did a send-off with sparklers, which we didn't think we were going to be able to do because it was such a dry summer. We weren't sure the fire department was going to allow us to do that.
They almost didn't.
And then,
just made sure to have a bucket of water on standby. That's what they told us.
Yeah, and then the next day we left for San Diego, which is where we had our visit.
I was at the wrong place at the right time, 'cause suddenly there you were with those bright blue eyes. We were conversing under the night sky when you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy, bar with neon lights, talked about everything that was on our minds. Talking to you gave me butterflies. Then you took my hand, said let's leave now.